A lot can happen in a week, some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Mustafa Tameez, media and public affairs consultant and the CEO of Outreach Strategists, Natalie Arsenault, president of Arsenault International Consulting, and Houston Public Media's own Ernie Manous, who co-hosts special coverage of Houston Election 2024, airing Mondays at noon on News 88.7 through Election Day. Mustafa, Natalie, Ernie, welcome to Houston Matters.
Howdy.
Good to be back.
Panel, as we discussed on Thursday's Houston Matters, the River Oaks Theater is back. Houston's oldest art house cinema first opened in 1939, but had to shut down a few years ago. It was since purchased by Culinary Concepts and Star Cinema Grill, and after a restoration and preservation project, its grand reopening weekend is on. River Oaks Theater will host an advanced showing of the Joker sequel, a 50th anniversary screening of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and as artistic director Robert Saucedo told us, may be of most interest to longstanding attendees, the return of midnight screenings of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The River Oaks Theater is back in business this weekend. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Mustafa, start us off.
This is great. It's not even just good. It's just great. You know, I've been in that theater over the years many, many times. Last time I was there was a screening of a movie that a friend of mine had produced, and afterwards there was a discussion about the film. And so it's one of those places that it's not just a place to go watch something, but really to understand and to have fun. And so many of us have this nostalgia from it. And I think theater is about that, right? Theater is about, like, how does it touch the heart, not just the head? And every time I'm there, it's about, something special that's happening in the theater. Now, mind you, I have not been to a midnight show. I've not done that part. So that's going to be my thing that I'll go do. But there's lots of little shops around there. So it makes an evening of it. And every time I've been there, it's been very pleasant. And we're sometimes, in Houston, we build so many new things. Like every time there's a new this, there's a new that, or a new building. And there's, we've torn something down to renovate it in some way, and it doesn't look the same anymore. This place has still got the same feel. So I'm very excited that it's opening up.
Natalie.
I, too, share that enthusiasm. Yes, it is good, great, wonderful. I think it's awesome. One, because it's a part of our history and it's historical and all this other good stuff. And I think there's something to be said about kind of small, Main Street-y style theaters where not only are you going to go to experience a movie, but you're also going to go and be able to have the dialogue potentially around some of those independent films, potentially get exposed to other perspectives and viewpoints, not just from the people who are showing the movie, but also from the audience themselves. And I think that's always amazing when you can bring that together and also still bring new life and new flavor and new types of shows, because I'm very interested in Joker as well. And like Mustafa, I have not gone to a midnight showing. First of all, y'all, I'm asleep by 9, so I don't know if I'm ever going to get
I will point out that on the show, Rob actually mentioned that they're moving those midnight showings up, actually, so that people are not having to stay up.
5:30. I was saying like 5:30 p.m.
I don't know what time.
Midnight showing at 10 p.m.
But they're
Houston Central Time.
They're making them a little more accessible to those who wish to get a little more sleep in their lives.
I'm just saying, a girl needs her beauty rest. So yeah, no, I would be interested, and I can't wait to see how they reimagined it and re-envisioned it, because Star is doing, they have great theaters and great food and all of that. So I'm super excited to see what it looks like.
Ernie?
Outraged. I am purely outraged that this is even a topic in the Good, Bad, and Ugly, which implies there are choices about this. It is amazing. It is wonderful. I wish I saw more of this in Houston in preserving our past and doing these things. And art house film houses, I should say, are so rare and so few. When I lived back in Chicago, I remember there was an art house. Why am I stumbling on that word? Art house film place that we used to go to. Rats ran across your feet while you watched the movie. We always had to sit with our feet up. But that's how important it was to go and see these films that we'd put up with those rats. And it was in a nice part of town. So I'm all for this. And as far as the redoing it, I have seen some photos. I haven't been in there yet. Beautiful new chairs with little tables. And it looks amazing. A place to eat, a bar, stuff like that. They've really kicked it up a notch. And as far now, something I'm outraged at. The midnight showings, they need to be at midnight. I'm sorry. People stay up a little later. It's Rocky Horror. You can handle
so
it.
The Rocky Horrors are actually happening at midnight.
All right,
it's
thank
the
you.
other screenings they're doing.
Well, then
that
those
they're
are
gonna-
okay.
They're going to give you a gold coin. You just show up. They're going to give you a gold
We
coin.
have like 2 showings, like the midnight show, and then the people who want to
Do
go
you
to
really
sleep.
want to go to a midnight screening with the 10 o'clock crowd?
I
you
really want to go with the
the
8 o'clock crowd. Let's be clear here.
See, the 10 o'clock, at least it ends at midnight, and you can kind of push it that way. A midnight screening ends at midnight. There you go.
Panel, check your couch cushions for some spare change. For only $15.75 million, you can own 20,000 acres in far west Texas with historic ties. That's the listed asking price for the Tessness Ranch. That is Sunset spelled backwards. The Brewster County Ranch is the largest of its kind in the state of Texas, covering some 6,000 square miles. The property was first a railroad town called Tabor, established in 1882, but as the Houston Chronicle reported Sunday, when the town wanted a post office, folks there were told to change the name because there was already a Tabor in Brazos County. So instead, they chose Sunset based on the town's association with Southern Pacific's Sunset Limited. That too was taken, so Tessness it was. The property features a ranch home, water system complete with multiple creeks and native wildlife, a shift in elevation of more than 1,000 feet, and a view of Big Bend National Park. Want to own the biggest ranch in Texas? All you need is a shade under $16 million. Is this good, bad, or ugly? Natalie.
You know, I just found $18 million under my bed.
Wow.
Like, it was amazing. So this could be
Natalie's
an
my
option
friend.
on how...
She's my friend. She's always been my friend.
It was just sitting there looking nice and
Oh,
pretty.
Natalie, I
and-
left it there last time I was over.
Okay,
That's actually
that's
mine.
yours?
That's how come
Okay.
you didn't know it was yours.
Okay. I think
What
I
were you
remember
doing
that.
there
When
tonight?
you went to the restroom.
Right, and then I
all-
slipped into your
yeah.
room and dropped $18 million under your bed.
You know, no, but I mean, I think it's good. I give them points for funny creativity of reversing Sunset. That's quite intriguing there. But yeah, it's West Texas, so I'm a little.
Oh, come on.
It's West Texas, and I've been out there, I've driven through it on my way to like California and Washington. And, I'm in oil and gas, so there's lots of that going on out there. I will say this, when this story came up, I'm always just absolutely amazed at the sheer size of Texas. Because I was like, wait a minute, 20,000 acres? I was like, isn't that like the whole size of Texas? And then I looked at it, I was like, okay, no, it's not even a fraction of Texas. So I'm just amazed that there's land of that size that's like untouched, unspoiled to some extent. I mean, they may have some other stuff going on there, but I think that's pretty cool. And I hope that they get their post office once they've renamed themselves, because with that much land, you need to be able to get mail, whoever purchases it, I hope they leave it intact, because being in the big city, we kind of need areas where we can go to and get away from, the sound noise, the light noise, all of that. So you do get that when you start to push out to the West Texases and things like that. So I hope they leave it untouched or make small little adjustments, but ultimately preserving that natural effect that's out there.
Ernie.
Good, bad, ugly. I don't know it's any of those. It's wonderful. Someone's selling their property. Good for them. What I want to know is, do mineral rights come with it? Because Natalie brings up the point about, and I'm wondering, maybe there's something really, could be a really great investment.
Yes.
On the other hand, if they're selling it for $16 million, I think somebody's already checked all of that, and they know that it's just a big piece of land. I have problems with it because whenever I think of West Texas, I've been out to West Texas. Let me tell you, like you said, you can get a great night's sleep out there with no noise and nothing. But snakes, I'm out.
I know.
So-
Snakes is what does it for you, huh?
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
knocks
Because you just
the
don't
weed
know
out.
where they're going to be.
Yeah.
And you know they're out there.
And they're so
and in all that
silent.
acreage.
20,000 acres is a good parcel of land.
Plenty of room. And you assume a lot of them haven't been bothered because it's so much space. No one's ever gone near them. So I'm out.
Okay. All right. Mustafa.
If I had the cash, if I had the cash.
You
But
buy
I
a
don't.
development.
But I
That's what
don't.
you buy.
But look, I've not been to the ranch, but I've been to Big Bend. And I've really, it's one of those places that it's a national park. It's one of the most least visited park in America because it's so far out. Texas, like Natalie was saying, from side to side, it's about 850 miles.
Yep.
I mean, we're just a big state. And Big Bend is very far away. But if anybody's interested in going to Big Bend, one of my best trips is taking a train to Alpine, right here from Houston. So you take right outside downtown. You could take a train. You could it leaves around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. You board the train. You go to the dinner cart. You have dinner there, and if it's like a 4-person table and there's 2 of you, they'll just put somebody else, so you can have a very nice conversation with people. You sleep. By the time you get up, like Natalie, you could sleep like 10 o'clock, but by the time you get up early, hopefully Natalie will get up early, right? That you're then driving into Alpine and you see this great, beautiful countryside. You get to Alpine, if you rent a car, they bring your car right at the train station. You can drive to Big Bend. And Big Bend, for those that haven't been to it, it just is great views, beautiful views. You see nature very differently because West Texas has got a lot of like the cactus and that kind of a terrain. But then when you get elevation, it's a whole different type of greenery that you see, and you have great beautiful views of Mexico from there and that side. So I'm just a big fan of getting away to go there. And just kind of shut the world behind. You can see the stars, and it's just a beautiful place. Like Ernie, I also don't want to live out there.
Nice to visit. Wouldn't want
It's
to live
nice.
here.
So maybe
Nice.
you buy the big ranch, you lease it out, and just
Yeah.
kind of come back on occasion.
Yeah. So again, if I had that big of a couch and it had $18 million, yeah, sure, why not? But I don't.
Well,
So-
the 18 million was to buy it for 16 and keep 2.
Is that what it is?
That's what it's about.
But also, I think it
Natalie
was
put in the
originally
profit margins.
It was originally priced at like hundreds of millions of dollars. They dropped the price a great deal, so it actually
so it's
is
a
a big
steal.
deal.
Oh,
It
it's
is
a steal of a deal.
It's a
Well,
steal of
you
a
never
deal.
know what the closing costs too. Like that might add a few extra.
Well,
on that.
we had some changes to the real estate situation, so maybe
true.
the closing
What
costs
are
in real
the
time.
taxes every year on that much property,
Like
too?
5 cents would be my guess. You put a cow on there.
yeah.
It's a ranch.
It probably comes with a car.
It comes with a cow. I'm sure of it.
It's not extra.
We just don't know where he is. He's out there somewhere.
Mustafa Tameez is a media and public affairs consultant and the CEO of Outreach Strategists. Natalie Arsenault is president of Arsenault International Consulting, and Houston Public Media's own Ernie Manous co-hosts special coverage of Houston Election 2024, Mondays at noon on News 88.7 through Election Day. Mustafa, Natalie, Ernie, thank you all very much.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks.